Wait for it. Okay. I think we're here
Now
now.
we're here.
now. Hey.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, everybody. No, nobody's on here yet. It's just me and you. That's okay.
Hey, Danielle, how you doing?
We can still be silly.
Try it again. Refresh it.
Oh, it's refreshing.
Mom's trying to. Shazza's trying to.
Somebody's watching now. I thought you said she wasn't there right now. She's here?
No, she wasn't
she's in the house. Oh, in the
No, yeah, she's
in the video.
right next to me.
Like she can't hear you because I have these headphones on. And got it.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
I got it.
We're here. We're here to talk about Scarlet.
Shazza.
Mm-hmm.
I forget I have to click on the thing.
I need to I need to go back and save that message from Paige. It was amazing.
Kim is here. Kim specially reserved this time slot.
I know.
For us.
1 a.m. You are a champ, Kim. Hello, Deanne.
Oh, I didn't even see Deanne's. Hi, Deanne. Oh, what did everybody think? How's everybody feeling?
I think I enjoyed it way more than you did. Not way more. A little bit more. Although, I'll tell you what, Danielle, after watching your live show yesterday, Friday, I'm like, oh, well, I'm a cheater because I used quarter and
half stars? Oh, no. I did not mean to call anybody out by that comment.
No, not you. It wasn't you. It was Steve. And I was like, well, too bad, because it's not cheating to me. That's still a number within the range between 1 and 5.
I have a great respect for anybody who chooses to give partial stars. I have to decomplicate it for myself. So yeah, you do. No. You do you. I wasn't upset. I was just kind of like, oh well. I'm not gonna stop. Right. No. Yeah. No.
But yeah, I think I gave it 4.5 stars. Yeah, 4.5 stars. I actually like this a little bit better than Cinder.
Okay.
Because I really liked Thorn, for one. He's becoming a favorite character. And I'm liking this coming together of all these characters. I'm really liking all these characters starting to come together. I think that's so much fun. And I can't wait to see as they add more characters. But what did you think?
How the story, that's one of the things I love about this series too, how she introduces new characters in each book and their story. It's one big story. And I love that. So yeah. I did enjoy Scarlet, but I didn't for me, it wasn't 5 stars because like I said, there was a lot of action, and I am, even in movies, if action comes on, I will tend to fall asleep. So I don't know if I get overstimulated or what, but I just kind of zone out. And so, yeah, I had a little bit of trouble following at times, but yeah, I still love all the characters. I still love the storyline. Still think Marissa Meyer does an amazing job. And yeah.
Yeah, it definitely, there is a lot of action in this one. Definitely more action. Oh, good. I'm glad it's midnight, not 1 a.m. Kim. Definitely more action in this one than in Cinder. And she really does rely on that action to keep things moving. But I mean, especially because we're coming up against this war, or we're coming into this war, I guess it makes sense. But yeah, there's not as much a focus in the character building in this one as there was. Well, I don't know. We spent quite a bit of time on Scarlet and Wolf in the beginning. Maybe not later on.
Yeah, and the captain. The captain who is... Why am I trying to blank on his name right now? That is
Thorn?
so weird. Oh, he is Thorn. Why am I? Okay, sorry. I was thinking of Wolf. I was thinking of Wolf and Scarlet.
No. I like Wolf. I'm talking about Thorn. I like Thorn. He's hilarious. He's
Thorn
a fun
is
character.
A lot of fun. He is a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's so dense that it's adorable.
Oh, she's talking about the rating 1 to 10 instead.
Oh, Steve. I know. I was like, how do you do 1 to 10?
That's
Wait,
worse.
that may be that may be complicating it even more.
I know, I know. I'm okay with my rating system. I'm pretty happy with it. And when I'm actually reading books, I think in those increments, like when I'm reading something like, oh, this feels like a 4.25. This feels like a 4.5. So like I know that it works for me
Yeah,
because I actually do when I'm thinking about reading. I'm like, no, 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 it's definitely not this. It's more this. So I
yeah.
think I think it's like whatever works for each person is best.
Absolutely. So we know Amy gave it a 4.5 and I
Five.
gave it a 4. So what did
Mhm.
everybody else give it? I'm curious to know.
Yeah. What was your ratings?
Give us a shout here. I'm not sure what was Deanne saying me too about. This was a few minutes
Just
ago.
can't wait to start Crest.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I know. And actually, we were talking about how winter is so chunky. Cress is chunky.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Between that and the toll, my book stack looks really scary this month.
Is the toll really long?
Yeah, let me show you. So
Yeah.
this is oh, I don't have enough desk space apparently. Okay. So this is
Crest is 552 pages.
that is Cress, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
This is the toll.
Oh wow. Okay, so that's long too. Is it quick reading? Are the scythe ones quick reading?
Pretty quick. Yeah. Yeah, they're not too bad. They're not dense like a Hobb or a Sanderson or
Hmm.
something.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. YA. They're YA. This whole series is a reread for. I just finished Crest yesterday. Ah. Yes.
Awesome.
I hope it was a good reread for you. This is
Are you loving them the second time around? That's what I'm always
Yeah,
curious about.
talk about that a little bit, Danielle, because you said you had
Yeah.
rated this Scarlet differently the first time.
Yes, I did. So I think I was just enamored the first time around. I think I was so just in awe about this whole concept that she could really do no wrong. I think I think that's probably where the 5 stars came from, but yeah, this time around I had a little bit of different. I mean, it is different reading it the second time. Not less
Oh yeah,
enjoyable, but definitely different. So,
yeah. I
yeah.
I totally understand that.
Yeah. And Deanne loves the merging of the stories. Me
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Action put. I know. I'm
I
special.
because usually it's the opposite. Or it just like you said, you probably get so overwhelmed that it puts you to, you're like, oh, I can't take all this action, so I get,
And I wondered how much of that, how we talked about me favoring like character driven stories and
hmm,
like, how I loved
yeah,
Assassin's Apprentice so much because it's more character driven. I think that is probably along those same lines. But I mean, because to me, action is more of like the plot, right?
yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I'm a strange bird, I confess.
No, not at
I
all, not at all.
confess.
You are 4 rating, 4 stars.
Should
Yeah, I mean
we
it's a
give it
good,
a
solid
4?
book.
Yeah.
This one, Cinder.
Kim preferred this one to Cinder.
She
Scarlet
gave
4
this one four
stars.
stars.
Samesies. Stacy
Cinder
gave
was
Scarlet 4 stars.
Yeah. So Stacy liked
Cinder,
Cinder a little bit better than Scarlet.
yeah. Deanne
For
give it a 4. Hopefully moving into a 5 before the series is over. Yeah. Ideally, that would be great.
Yeah, I mean it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see how it progresses, especially because we're adding new characters. Like, is it going to get overwhelming towards the end with all the different characters that we're bringing into the story? But we'll also be getting to like this ultimate goal that we're trying to get to,
Right.
which I think is good.
I think middle books are always at a disadvantage because you're not
Yeah,
necessarily, becoming familiar with the story and falling in love with everybody for the first time. You're just kind of it's like that filler that is very necessary but also maybe less exciting. So, which
yeah,
I mean really this like you said this one was action packed so how can it be less exciting? But
It's a bummer, actually. It is a bummer because I just read The Obelisk Gate, which is the second in the Broken Earth trilogy. The first one's fifth season. Second one just can't have the same impact the first one had because there was some big surprises that you find in the
Right.
first one, and you can't have those same. You already know what certain things are. So like they can make it interesting, but because it's still a middle book, like you said, you're not getting to all the really good stuff anyways. So it's kind of like those middle books. The only exception, and you haven't read it yet, is Royal Assassin. Royal Assassin is the best in the Farseer trilogy, hands down.
And is that the second or third one?
That's the middle book.
That's the middle book. Okay, because
It's the best.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need to. I want to get to that one very soon. If only my game would cooperate.
Jane gave 5 stars, but low 5 stars.
Yeah. Yes, I love how everything joins together too. Amber.
Hello.
Gothic Kana and listening to A Wolf in Duke's Clothing. Cool.
Ooh, Wolf in Duke's Clothing. That sounds interesting.
Hey, Paige is here.
Hey, Paige. Oh, productivity sprints. Hey, Paige. How's it going?
We're always double teaming.
I know. We always seem to go at the same
time. So I'll be listening in the background. The background counts. We'll take it.
But Paige, you do need to tell us your rating on Scarlet. Yeah. So.
For sure. Hard agree. Royal Assassin is significantly better than
Assassin's
Apprentice, which is, oh my God, if it's significantly better, maybe I'll just chuck out my whole TBR. And
but see, I didn't love Assassin's Quest as much. So I think that, well, I don't know if Assassin's Quest was my least favorite of the 3, but it was definitely not, like, Royal Assassin was the book. It was the book of that trilogy. Yeah.
Okay. Man, now we know. Kim agrees. And Paige gave 4.5 stars.
We're twinsies, Paige. We're twinsies.
Paige does partial stars too. See?
Good.
Okay.
Now I'm like embarrassed if Steve does watch any of my videos. I'm like, well, you're gonna get all those partial stars, dude.
Don't be embarrassed. Don't be embarrassed.
Oh goodness.
He's good people, Amy.
No, it was very nice. It was good. It was fun watching you on there. Did you enjoy it?
It was nerve-wracking, but yeah.
You did great.
I hated to, like, I watched myself back for most of it, and I was like, oh my gosh, you can tell I've been sick because I kept having to freaking clear my throat. I'm like, why? Oh my God, why?
No. It was not bad at all. Like, we always see the worst in ourselves, though.
Yeah. I was really glad I did it, though, because it was definitely out of my comfort zone. And now it's kind of like, man, if I did that,
you can do anything.
I can do whatever now.
Sky's the limit.
Yeah, exactly.
You gonna be skydiving now?
That is so funny you just said that, because Mark, my boyfriend, just asked me, like, this past week, if I wanted to go skydiving.
Oh, and the answer was?
I kind of looked at him funny. Like, I was like, is he serious? I kind of like diverted, and I was like, well, I do want to ride in a hot air balloon. So maybe that. Can we compromise?
Yeah. Actually, I'll tell you what was really fun. My friend, when she went skydiving for her 30th birthday, I'm sorry, this is not Scarlet talk, but for just a second, my friend went skydiving for her 30th birthday, and I couldn't really afford to go skydiving myself. So I actually sat up front with the pilot and got to put the little headphones on. And to be honest, after they drop the skydivers, the pilot goes into a really quick, like, drop, like on the roller coaster. Like, he just goes boom.
Whoa.
And I had just as much of an exciting time as I think the skydivers did. So
that is awesome.
So maybe you can do that.
Hey, I could do that. Yeah, for sure. Thank you for watching me, Sharon. So sweet. 4 on Goodreads, because you can't do partial stars on Goodreads. I didn't think about that. How do you do it on Goodreads? If you gave a partial star, do you just go with, like, the next nearest star? So if it was like a 0.25, do you go with the lower number and vice versa?
That's tricky. I don't always, I mean, I know a lot of people round up. I don't usually round up because, um, like, to me, a 5 stars is like a 4.75 is not a 5 stars. It's still not a 5 stars. So I don't
Yeah,
know. It's tricky, and that's really unfair for. But I mean, Goodreads, the whole rating system is terrible, anyways. So I mean, it's not like
that makes
that
sense to
shouldn't
me.
be a gate. But I typically round down unless it's like I say it's a 3.75. I'll usually round up. But I have a hard. Think I have a hard time rounding up when it's a 4.75 because I use Goodreads as a record for myself.
Yeah.
So when I go
Yep.
back and look at all my books and stuff, if I see a 5 stars, then I'm gonna think automatically I gave it a full 5 stars. So I
Right.
don't know. It's
Yeah, I mean, I
selfish
guess
maybe,
the
but
only
that's how
way
I.
around that would be to maybe in your review say this was only
Yeah,
whatever stars, but
yeah.
Paige loved hot air ballooning. I went up in the plane for skydiving, ended up coming back down in the plane too. That says everything I need to know. I love it. I love
That's
it. I
funny, Paige.
love it. That
Stacy
middle book
says.
theory makes sense. I like the characters better in Scarlet, but being introduced to the original concepts in Cinder was what grabbed my attention
Hmm.
with the first book. I agree. I
Yeah,
feel that.
I could see that. Absolutely could see that.
Oh, I clicked the wrong one. Sorry. I
Oh.
round up or down depending on my feeling about a book on Goodreads. Yeah, that's good.
And I've done the same thing too, Kim. There have been times where I've liked it well enough that I'm like, I really think I should just bump it up for Goodreads. Goodreads is just, I don't like their rating system. It's just a personal feeling. But I use it, so I can't complain, right?
So when you say that, is it just because it's like the full star, or is it because
Yeah. No, I don't like it because
do
it's a
they
full
have a
star.
breakdown? Because I know I use my own, like this means this and that means that. But like, does
They,
Goodreads have an official like breakdown of what each star means?
they do actually. So I think they even like listed if you hover over the stars. So 1 star means it's not good. 2 stars means it's okay, actually. 3 stars means it's
Really?
good. 4 stars means it's great, and 5 stars means it's excellent, or something along those lines. But yeah,
Okay.
um,
I need to pay better attention to that. I mean, I still may use my own system, but yeah,
yeah.
that's interesting. Um,
But yeah, no, everybody loves Storygraph, and
I was just going to ask you about that, about Storygraph.
I just don't have the energy right now to switch all my stuff over. But
So are people actually switching from one to the other,
oh
or are
yeah,
they using both?
I think most people are switching over. To get away from Amazon, get away from Goodreads, and then also there's a lot of things that Storygraph does that's really neat, like statistics and things like that that you don't get on Goodreads. And there's different ways of sorting that you don't have on Goodreads. So like I see the benefit. I just just lazy.
And I think I did make a Storygraph account, but I like you said, it's a lot to do both. So I haven't done anything
I
on there.
wouldn't do
So
both. Yeah, I wouldn't do both.
okay.
I wouldn't. And then I also have my Goodreads. I have like 26 different files where all my want to reads are separated, and it's very useful for me when I'm doing my TBR game and stuff to be able to know, oh, this book is LGBTQ plus representation. Oh, this book has,
Okay.
this book is a middle grade. This book is a YA fantasy. This book, so for me, I just got it set up in a way that it's working for me at the moment. But I understand there's a lot of benefits to Storygraph.
Okay.
Okay.
Depends on the book for me. Most of the time I'll round down unless there is 5 that is so close.
Yeah, yeah. I think I'm the same page.
That was for the skydiving, I think.
No, no. Hi,
Shazza!
Shazza.
Paige says hi. Storygraph, you can get
Yeah.
quarter star ratings.
See,
Okay.
that's why.
Gosh, man.
Darn it.
Hmm.
Oh, it's too clunky at the moment, though. Storygraph? Yeah.
What does that
Okay.
mean?
Clunky meaning like it's not as intuitive as Goodreads is. I'm guessing
Oh,
is
okay.
my like Goodreads is so easy to use, really, really easy to use,
Yeah.
and I'm guessing that Storygraph takes more. Well, look at Kim's comment next.
Oh,
She says that I find Storygraph really hard to get used to. So maybe that's kind of along the same lines. It's just got a lot of.
although I do like the idea. Yeah, man. I know I'm thinking like, oh, in my free time, I'll check that out. But like, what free time?
That's my problem. Yeah, I'm struggling right now. So
I have no idea how to find anyone on there / see other reviews. That's
yeah,
interesting
it's
also.
tricky. And I know people who really love it. So I
Yeah.
guess it just depends on how much time you want to put into getting to know a new system.
And I've even like seen people, curate like a list for Storygraph, which I guess you could do for Goodreads too, but
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know. You have to do more steps to even put in your ratings, and it's just I want to mark read, and add ratings. That's it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, we're already all doing a lot. So it's like let's
Yeah.
let's keep
Yeah.
it as simple as possible. The community profiles aren't fantastic yet, but the
No, the
challenges are
challenges.
mint.
Okay.
Challenges. Don't tell
Interesting.
Amy about challenges.
I know. Stay away from me. Stay away from me. I don't have time for all that. I got too many things to worry about.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, should we talk about Scarlet?
I was thinking that. I was thinking that too. We should.
Maybe.
Okay, so does anybody have anything in particular they would like to talk
Yeah.
about
I
Scarlet?
told Kim to bring her questions, so I'm depending
Bring
on
it.
her to have some.
Yeah, I mean,
No
we've been
pressure,
seeing
Kim.
y'all with your theories in the
Yeah.
chat and everything. So yeah,
Yeah.
Paige says you can make individual challenges for readathons, etc. That's cool.
Stop it. Stop it, Paige. Stop.
She's like la 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 la.
All the good stuff. No, I know I can't do
I
it. I
can't
can't do
hear you.
it.
Yeah.
So
So I think I mentioned early on that I love Scarlett's character. I love that she is spunky. I loved the way that she was coming to Cinder's defense even before she knew who she was defending.
mhm.
Um, yeah,
Yeah.
I just
And
I just like her.
that tells you that she can think for herself because she's not just following the opinions of all the people in that bar. But it also tells you that her grandmother has really given her a good training in being open-minded, at least, or at least,
Yeah.
has raised her to be more open-minded and less. I don't know. It was really sad the things they were saying about Cinder during that fight scene. Paige.
Yeah, Cinder got a really bad rap. I mean, I guess that's typical when you just don't know the whole story,
Mhm.
but
Yeah. It's and it's got to be really tough for a 16-year-old too. A 16-year-old who's never been in the limelight. Nobody pays attention to her typically, and now all of a sudden she's this what do you call it, fugitive who's on every channel, and of course Thorn is just eating it all up. Why aren't they talking about me?
Right. I know. Yeah, he's great.
He
I like
is
him a
so
lot.
hilarious. Yes. I am loving Thorn. He's my favorite addition.
Wolf is Paige's new love.
Well,
Yeah.
Paige's favorite addition.
His eyes sound fantastic. Like I was definitely intrigued by the green eyes.
Yeah. So one thing I wanted to point out or wanted to ask you about is at the back of this book, there's this little short story called The Queen's Army. And is that like a supplemental story? Because I didn't get a chance to look at my Goodreads, but it talks about how the wolves are created. Didn't read it, but I did read. So I was like, okay, so here's how unprepared I was for this. I was like, oh, look at the back of the book. They have all the questions that you should discussion questions. So let me kind of go through some of these discussion questions. And one of them is in Marissa Meyer's short story, The Queen's Army, we're given a look into the creation of the werewolf soldiers. But my question is, are we supposed to have read that one at some point or read this after reading Scarlet?
You know what? I see it now too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that actually came in my book after the little teaser of Cress, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And I'm
Yeah.
just curious, anybody read that? Are we supposed to have, is that like a good place to read it after reading Scarlet? Queen's Army. Oh,
Well,
it says
kind of.
1.5 book.
Oh my gosh. I feel really passionate about going in order. We're gonna
You're
we're gonna
behind. You're
we're gonna have to
behind.
backtrack, everybody.
Well, then we have to go back and read point 5, point 6,
Oh
which
my
point
gosh.
5 is called Glitches. Point 6 is called The Little Android. Point 1.5 is the Queen's Army.
Okay. Well,
Oh, too many of these
man.
little.
Okay, class, there's homework tonight. Your homework is read the Queen's Army. There will be a quiz on it tomorrow on Discord. Oh, it was a really nice way of introducing the story and continuing on from where we left off.
I think she means like the whole Scarlet Cinder in the. Does she mean in the whole where? Ooh, wow, that didn't work. Yeah, that wasn't a good sentence. The whole.
We don't need sentences. Okay.
Yeah, the whole Cinder. Scarlet defending Cinder in the bar.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. That would make
There
sense.
goes Ashaza.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah. I felt for Cinder when Scarlet met her and was like, "What is your problem? Why aren't you doing anything?" I did too. I was like, "Cinder, quick, like explain that you did not know this whole time that you were Celine. Please, like I did. I felt attacked right along with her. Like she was just. I really feel like she's just doing the best she can right now because not a lot of time has passed since she found that information out.
Yeah, and it's tough because Cinder is 16. Like she's 16, and she also has been faced. She's also. I'm sorry, I told you I'm struggling today. She's also
Okay.
had this persona placed on her that she just never even wanted. Like she didn't know till she's Celine.
Yeah.
She didn't ask to be Celine, and she also hasn't had any time to get used to the idea of being Princess Celine. So it's like,
yeah,
I felt for.
And now
I felt
everybody
for well.
expects her to save the world, and I think there just needs to be a little bit of grace there.
Yeah, and she just wants to love Kai and, live in Europe somewhere. That's all she wants. That's all she's ever wanted.
Right.
Poor sister.
Nobody can blame her. Nobody can blame her. Jane loves Thorn. Wolf is a close second.
Yeah, I love.
Yes,
well, I really liked Kai, but I don't know how we're gonna feel about him going forward.
I don't officially have
a favorite. I like Thorn
a guy
because
favorite.
I like Thorn
is probably
because
not number one though. Kai's
the kind of guy I would probably end up liking. I like Thorn because he's funny, but I would never. I'm not into cocky guys. Like I would never go for a guy like that.
I think probably it's going to be Wolf for me right now because I like his protective side, and
I just don't know if we can trust Wolf.
I like his vulnerability. I don't know. Can you trust anybody? Can you trust anybody?
This is why. Let's not get that deep, Kim. I'm seeing Kim. Danielle.
I'm jaded. Okay.
I know we're talking YA here.
I know. I don't think I have that. Oh, the
Queen's Army. Jane says it's in the stars above.
Oh.
Well, if you look at the next one.
If you can find it. Otherwise, I will I have no problem with taking pictures of I have no problem with taking pictures of this book.
Sending it.
I will send it to my friends.
Yeah.
We read that one. You can
we're reading that in the end. We're reading that one in winter, I think.
That's what it is. It's bonus content. It's not necessarily something that you have to read or you're going to be lost or anything like that. It's just going to maybe clarify some things and answer some questions. But I honestly don't know. I never read Queen's Army. Ha ha ha. Wait. Is this in the short story book?
Yeah, like stars above.
Also,
the bar scene.
Scarlet. Apparently some versions of Scarlet. The bar scene. Yes. How far behind am I, guys? Okay.
Shaza. That's when Mom was wandering around.
Make an appearance. The original books don't have the little novellas. Okay.
Okay. Okay, that makes
They're
sense.
released in 2016 following the original books. Thank you
Okay.
guys so much for
Yeah,
helping
confirming.
us. Oh, where do I find those? We're learning. So not to.
Where?
It's totally up to you.
Yeah. I
Totally.
so yeah, I think that well, those will be in Stars Above, which is the book we're reading in winter. Unless you have these versions, in which case they at least have this one in here. I don't know, but I didn't even look at my
Well, and even
synthesis
in
to see if
this
there's
one,
anything
because
else.
this one has the old cover, but I think it is like
An updated
is this
version.
Scholastic or what is this? Oh, it says Squarefish. Oh, yeah. This is the Squarefish edition. I don't know, but it has the little red like jobby right here, and it's
Mm-hmm.
in the back of that. Wolf is the bad boy with a good heart.
Yeah, see, I never go for the
That
bad
might be the
boys.
ticket right there.
Oh, see, all of you girls that like, I mean, all of you people that like bad boys.
Oh, I think that's me, guys. He's cocky but very funny, so I love
He
it.
is. I agree, Amber. I do love Thorn. And then I like his dynamic a lot with Aiko. I think they're such a cute little, captain spaceship team. I think they're fantastic.
I really like Thorn, but how long was he in prison for for when Cinder found him? He is very chip for someone who has been locked up. Haha.
Yeah,
He does have like an unflappable,
yeah.
just positive personality. Like, does anything bother this guy?
So that reminds me of something that I can't talk about.
Just because you're further ahead in Chris.
I'm not far ahead enough, but just based off what I know about Cress, like it being Rapunzel,
Oh yeah.
and if you've seen the movie Tangled, the personality of the love interest in Tangled, what's his name? What's the name of Rapunzel's love interest
I'm drawing a blank
in
now too.
Tangled?
That's
I
great.
know, I can't think of it at the moment. Anyways, that character in the Disney version has a very similar personality to, and I haven't read that far forward in class, so I
Flynn
don't know yet.
Rider. I just
Flynn Rider.
down a little
So,
bit.
yeah, so I feel like thinking about, I didn't read that far. So this isn't a spoiler. This is my guess. Just knowing how the whole Rapunzel thing plays out, knowing the Disney version of Rapunzel, I was like, oh, you know who Thorn reminds me of? He reminds me of Flynn Rider. And then I was like, okay, I wonder.
Hey, look, Amy, I'm not alone.
Yeah, I know she does. Yeah, not good.
I dated one when I was a teen. Okay. See, Sharon is like on a level above me because she dated one and she learned her lesson. And I love cocky. Amy always tells me I'm too vain.
I like the responsible Kai types. What can I say?
Oh man.
Boring, but that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Flynn Rider. Well, we already did that one. Thorn definitely doesn't let much get to him. No.
Yeah, he doesn't. And
Story time with Shaza. I agree. Let us hear about the one bad boy experience.
he was not good. Actually, all of Mom's romantic choices were not good. So.
Man, I feel you. I feel you,
Yeah,
Shaza.
well, I thought I was picking good ones, and they weren't good either. So.
Oh, well, I wouldn't say I learned my lesson. I would still choose bad over good. Boom.
Anyways, back to Scarlet. What else do we have to say?
Oh man, I don't know.
We're terrible today.
So the scene in the prison when her grandmother was dying, that was just that messed with me a little bit.
And that was a really hard scene. It was a really hard scene. And I was listening to it on audiobook. And the actress who the actress who plays, reads the book, does a really good job of getting the emotion in there. And it was just so sad because they never even got a chance to really, have much time together.
Have closure or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just like, "What are you doing here? You've gotta get out of here," and
Yeah.
then the fact that grandma basically she provoked Ran to the point where she knew he would end her life, and which I can see that to a point because otherwise it was gonna be continue to be probably a long, slow death, and also if she was out of the way, then she knew Scarlet would get out, Scarlet wouldn't have a reason to hang around, So, but still, it was so sad.
Yeah. It was. It was really sad. And I understood the point, but at the same time it seemed like there could have been, although she was so in so much pain and so ill and so close to death anyways, I don't think there was much in that moment, because the moment was, everything was so, they had to make movement, and there was no real way to save her. So like, I agree with you. Like, it's really sad, and it's sad it had to happen that way, but I don't know if there would have been a better way.
This is why
Yeah.
we can't hear the stories.
No, and you don't
It's
want
not
to,
story
trust me.
time. Deanne
she's
loves Wolf
she's
too.
trouble. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not for me, guys. You can all have him.
Well, one less cow we gotta elbow out of the way. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
So, what else?
So then I was thinking about the way that Wolf presented himself from the very beginning.
Yeah,
He presents himself as, that's, I think, why I have so many trust issues with Wolf, because first
yeah,
he says he ran away, but then he finally tells her the truth about, well, he tells her a truth about what he's doing and who he is, that he is part of this gang, and but he ran away from it. He's not part of them anymore. But then when you get to that gang headquarters, he actually goes back, like
yeah,
it doesn't ever seem like he actually was running away.
right. Which, what I took from that, him, saying, "I'm sorry," outside of the kinda lair kinda thing, I think he knew when he walked through those doors that he was gonna have to go to being his old self, and from what I gathered, it was like he had in order for her to have any chance of getting away from there, they had to trust him and, like, think that he was still under their influence. I could be
Yeah.
wrong, but that was kinda
No.
how I took it. Doesn't make it, like, fun or anything. It
Yeah.
was not fun and would not be cool to be Scarlet and, like, really not know top from bottom, but, um,
I agree with you, and I do see that, and I do, and I could see that that's why he had to assume that position anyways. But it really, the way she presented it, the way Marissa Meyer presented it, I was like, wait, what? What did he just like? It. I didn't get it at first, So I guess maybe that was clever of her, because I was as shocked as Scarlet was in that moment, because I was like, wait,
yeah,
wait, I thought that I didn't, I didn't realize he was still participating with this group.
yeah,
Like, I thought,
yeah, and his emotions, like, toward Scarlet and toward how he felt about the pack, I think were really genuine, and so, like, it was believable, like, in the moment when he's either telling his thoughts or, um, showing how he felt through some kind of action, it was I think it was genuine, and that's why whenever he kinda had to act the complete opposite way, it was like, "Wait,
disconcerting. Yeah.
what?" Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I think Grandmere was a rebel in her time. Yes, I agree with you, Deanne. She was. I would like to know more about her, honestly. I'd like to hear more of her story. Maybe there's a little side story about Grandmere
yeah,
that
yeah.
needs to be.
Brutal in the prison. I just don't know if I would forgive Wolf if I was Scarlet. I know it's not really his fault, but he did go along with it until he fancied her.
I just feel like I
That
wouldn't
is a
trust
good
him.
point. That I mean, that's something I hadn't thought about. Like if Scarlet was anybody else, like say some woman that Wolf was not attracted to or not a soulmate with or whatever, would he have, willingly led her into danger?
Yeah, actually, that's a really good thought. Because was it just because he had feelings? He was gonna do the thing. Like he was gonna do the thing. He was part of this big plan. Did he actually run away? We don't know if he actually ran away originally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wolf had to play along. I would love that too.
Yes, a grandmère
Oh,
story.
yeah.
Grandmère, a grandmère story.
Grand-mère. Grand-mère. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm trying to
tricky.
think what else stood out to me in this book. I mean, we could talk
Uh,
about Lavanna getting her way.
oh, oh, she's so awful. And then I was so upset with Kai. I was just as upset with Kai as everybody on the spaceship was because I was like, no, you know better, and you're still doing it. You're such an idiot.
I think for Kai, how I took it was like the immediate deaths, like the assault, like the onslaught that was happening was not going to
Yeah,
stop until he did something drastic. So he did this drastic thing for it was like a temporary fix, Yeah, the pack may be called off for now, but she still wants total domination. Total.
she's so awful. She's a really good, villain. She's a really good villain because she's really pretty awful, and she knows how to play people. And what drives me nuts is just the audacity she has at just knowing that no matter what, she can get away with whatever she wants. Just
Yeah.
drives me insane. I'm like, ah. Anyways,
She just has
yeah.
no boundaries, like there's no limit to what she will do to get what she wants. No
I
is
mean, her
not a word she's
confidence.
willing to hear. Yeah.
Yeah, her confidence. Like I always think confidence is an amazing thing, but hers is so it oppresses everybody else around her. Like it's so,
Yeah.
she drives me nuts.
Scarlet was
Amber
so
says
focused on saving her grandmother, and Wolf couldn't change her mind. Yes. This is true.
so.
That is a very good point too. Go
Yeah.
ahead, Amy.
No, I was gonna say, did that annoy anybody at all? Like the whole how Scarlet was not willing to listen to reason whatsoever for anything. Like that annoyed me actually quite a bit because I know that she loves her grandmother. I know she wants to save her. I get that. But at the same time, she was making really stupid choices because of how desperate she was. And she wasn't thinking about consequences to, like, you can't just run into this den of you don't know what and think
Yeah.
you're going to one single-handedly save your grandmother.
Yeah. That was one of the things that really annoyed me in that mystery thriller that I read last month was that the main character was doing really stupid things, like very intentionally putting herself in danger. And yeah, that did bother me. I think Amber had a good point that made me think Wolf did try to
He
get
did.
her to not
He
go.
did. He
And
did.
him having been someone that had been in that den and like knew how the hierarchy and just how everything goes down around there, he was a reliable source in that way. He was she just had it in her head that and I don't know. I don't know what I would do. Honestly, it was her grandma. That was
Yeah,
her only person. So
I know, and she's young too. It's just that you're going to kill yourself to, like, you're putting yourself and other people in danger then to save this person when you could be doing, like, there's other options. I guess she has tried to get the cops to help her many, many times and it hasn't worked out. So I mean, she's frustrated.
because they
But it
think her
just
grandma's crazy and so on and
but
so
it
forth. Yeah.
it just seems so foolish. It seems foolish. And that's hard to say because I love my family and I don't know you're right. I don't know what I would do. But I don't know if I would do what she did. uh,
Yeah, it was like Mission Impossible. I don't know how she thought rationally that she could walk into that building and
yeah,
somehow face down
yeah.
these
She as
mandies,
one
you know.
right. She as one person can attack 20 different people at one time. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. Like that way of thinking makes no sense to me.
Yeah, almost like in that respect, do some kind of like recon and like, scope out the building and figure out where prisoners are being kept and like figure out some
Yeah,
kind of escape plan.
I'm
Like,
okay with that.
you know,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
It
okay.
wasn't like that though.
I think Wolf was sincere because of how he expressed his feelings toward his brother.
Yeah, that
He
was my
hated his
initial
brother.
indicator, Stacy.
His resentment was real.
Yeah,
Yes,
that was my. Yeah,
it
go
was.
ahead. Sorry, Danielle.
No, his brother gave me the creeps.
Yeah, Rand was pretty icky.
Ugh.
YA teenagers. Yes, I know. I
There'd be
know.
there'd be no plot otherwise if they just didn't run headlong into danger.
I get that.
It was annoying that she had no sense of self-preservation. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Amber. I agree. But even as a teenager, I had a sense of self-preservation. But I was a
Yeah.
weird kid, so I'm not like, I
Uh,
mean, I'm not saying I'm not like anybody else, but like I was very cautious as a teenager, you know?
I think in that respect, it really fits Scarlett's personality because she is kind of reckless and she
Yeah.
is kind of headstrong. And yeah, if she had done anything else, it would be like, this isn't Scarlet, So there's that too.
Which is kind of nice because it does give you that differentiation of characters between Cinder and Scarlet because they're not
Hmm.
exactly the same. Those two characters are
No,
different. So it's nice to see their different personalities as well.
I love this. She's a main character. She can't die.
She can if she's one of several main characters. I guess not of her own
Uh,
book, though.
what did we think about what happened to Scarlett's dad? This is a good
Oh,
question. I'm glad you brought that up.
another thing I was super pissed about.
I was not happy with the dad situation either.
No.
I didn't for one thing, I Scarlett was like awful to him. I know that they had a history and he had like abandoned her and everything like that, but I feel like I mean the state he was in, like had he ever acted like that before, It was
Yeah.
it was kind of like an extreme circumstance.
I mean, I think that yeah, in that circumstance, you look at the well-being of that person, and Scarlett kept saying, she said over and over and over again, "It's my family, it's my family, it's my family," and it's like, but you just dropped your family
That is
completely,
a
and I know that he's
very
not
good
family that
point.
you're proud of, but he's still your family, and he is visibly falling apart. Like
Yeah.
everything about him is not well at the moment. And she didn't give it any time. Like she's been trying to find her grandmother for how many days? Over a week? Give your dad a couple of days to try and see what's going on with him. Like it's not
Yeah.
going to kill you. Wait a couple of days.
Yeah, he had those burn marks on his arms or his arm and like yeah, and then if I remember correctly, like their parting words were not cool. And when like that his life is potentially in danger and that those could be the last words you ever say to him, like I don't know, man.
Well, she really
It's-
didn't think that anything was going to happen to him. She thought she didn't think anything was going to happen to him. But then I didn't really see her being that upset when she found out he was dead. Did she seem all that upset to you?
No, it was like she got the calm about him dying because he drank too much and then I don't remember if it was Wolf that said, "Are you sure about that? Like, are you sure that that's how he died?" And then later it got confirmed that Lavana or whoever had orchestrated it to look like an accident.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of that was kind of a weird situation. That whole situation with the dad was weird to me. But
Yeah.
I mean, family dynamics are very tricky,
Yeah.
very tricky, and people have very different feelings about their parents based off on their relationships and how much they can or cannot trust that person. So I mean, we don't really know all the history with
Right.
Scarlett and her dad, but it still
Right.
it was rough.
Yeah. It was rough. Paige has no preservation skills unless it comes to jumping out of a plane.
Not even for $300.
Oh, yeah. I feel like there aren't really many stakes. So I'm like, cool. We just running with it.
I think I would stress a lot less if I thought that way, Paige.
Hey, Amy Bowman's here.
Hey,
Woohoo!
Amy.
I thought her dad was extremely selfish. I don't know that he deserved what he got, but I can see Scarlet thinking he deserved it.
I think I come back to just in general the saving of somebody else's life, whether you like them or not. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
he's a person who's in distress, very clearly in distress, and he could give her more information about her grandmother. You never know. Like, she could have got more from him than she did in that time.
Yeah, I mean, it sounded like he was pretty equally clueless, though. But
Yeah, I don't know.
he believed that there was something there. There was something that they were looking for, and he believed that it was there. And Scarlet wasn't in any big hurry to help him find this mystery thing. But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think a lot of our feelings about how that went down, like your relationship with your dad, and most of us here are, is everybody here a woman? Regardless of whether or not you're a woman or a man, like your relationship with your dad is can get touchy, man.
Mhm.
So
Oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, and so I understand that. I think for me, it's just more like human decency sort of thing, like
Yeah.
what you would do for someone who is clearly not doing well. But I don't,
Did I not just, I didn't even see her comment before I said that. That's my
yeah,
that's my point right there.
yeah, no, it's
Good
true.
riddance. Oh, I think Scarlet wasn't able to forgive her dad for leaving her grandmother behind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's true. It's true.
I don't think she cared at all until she knew it was not an accident.
Yeah,
That's a yeah. I could see
I
that.
don't. I don't know if I've ever hated someone so much that I want them dead, or like am okay with knowing they've died.
Yeah.
I
I don't
don't know.
I cannot
No, we know that, and there's no
I can't
judgment. There's
say
no
that.
judgment. It's
I can't say that. I've definitely wished somebody dead before, but don't judge me.
no. I don't.
In,
I don't. I
in
wouldn't. I
general,
wouldn't
that is
judge at
not my
all.
go-to
No,
attitude.
I wouldn't.
I'm a very
Yeah,
like kind-hearted person, but
yeah, and I think no, I wouldn't judge that. And honestly, I don't know how I would be in the same situation. I definitely don't have the most amazing relationship with my father, but I don't hate my father. It's not like I had the situation where he has disappointed me so much time and time again. Well, but like in the same way that Scarlet.
whoa. Oh my
That I mean,
god.
I just think I would be more affected by my parents' death. That's all.
Stacey
But I
said
don't know.
her dad was like a stranger to her.
He
Yeah,
was.
I thought the same, but it's hard because he was an alcoholic and
Mm-hmm.
neglectful. So Scarlett had probably mentally detached a long time ago. That
Yeah.
yes, I agree. Did Scarlett think he was helping them and not her grandmother?
Yeah. Yeah,
Maybe.
and I guess another good thing to point out is all of these characters, everything is happening so fast that all the trauma that's happening to all these characters, thinking of Cinder, thinking of Kai, thinking of Scarlet, like all these things are happening so quickly that they haven't had any chance to actually deal with any of these emotional moments or emotional, like
Right.
they really don't. They have to just, something happens, they have to move on. Something happens, they have to move on. So they don't, and that's also something to
There
really
hasn't been
think
a whole
about
lot
too.
of processing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just reading Kim's question again because I thought I had a thought about that. Does Scarlett think he was helping them
Sorry.
and not? No, it's okay, and not her grandmother.
She might have. She didn't trust him, so very easily she could think that he might be leading her in the wrong.
I
He
mean,
might be giving her false information.
this was my thought. True to what we know about his character, I definitely believe he was worried about himself. If he didn't go and find what they wanted, I mean, we know now either way he was dead meat, but in his mind, he was definitely trying to save his skin.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
were
he
gonna
was
they were gonna
super
be after
selfish.
him,
Yeah.
no matter what. So
Yeah.
yeah.
He really did only care about himself. Like, he wasn't worried about Scarlet. He wasn't worried about his mother.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
She
that's
also
someone.
she also wasn't exactly in her right mind as she was freaking out.
Yeah. That's kind of with that whole, like, they don't have enough time to really think about all the stuff that's going on. Is that an
Mm,
Aquarius trait?
I think she's just lived enough life that she's just had it with the
She's
BS,
done.
and yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. And I've spent
It's
way too
nice.
much of my life being a pleaser, so don't,
Oh, same.
that's a one of
Yeah,
those, that's a problematic personality too.
yeah. It's nice to be able to just discuss it. It is a
It
complex
is.
relationship. Yeah, I'm actually was not anticipating it going in that direction at all. Also,
No,
hi.
I like it. Hi, Amy.
Also, hi.
I like it. I like having those kind of conversations because
Yeah.
it it's a complex relationship, and everybody's relationship with their family, like you said, is very personal, and
Mhm.
can have very different feelings. And some people even may have the same relationship with their parents or their father and react in a different way too, like
Yeah.
just based on their own personalities.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think this is good too because while I picked up on that reading the story, we were talking about giving ourselves time to process things. Yeah, it registered, but I wasn't able to really sit with that and sit with how I felt about how everything went down with Scarlett's dad. So I think that's really
Hmm.
good.
I agree. So I'm curious, going back to the whole Kai situation, are we still suspecting Torin?
Oh yeah, I think we're all suspecting Torin from what I picked up on in the chat.
Yeah, because
Nobody
he does.
raise
But
your hand if you trust Torin.
I just
Ah,
I want to know a little more about him. Like, he's someone who we never hear his voice whatsoever, or even hear him talking much. So I'm just like, what secrets are you hiding, Torin? Because
yeah.
he's been around a long time. He's seen a lot of things.
Mhm.
I don't know why I'm so curious about him. Maybe it's because I don't trust him. So I'm like, what is going on? What's going on over there?
Amy has trust issues.
Apparently,
I
I
don't
also have a
trust Wolf
commitment
and I
issues.
don't trust Torin.
No,
Oh.
that's right. I do. You're
And
right. Oh my
and
god.
and Aiko is still very uncomfortable in her big body, which I
Oh,
mean, poor
because she
thing.
can't put cute shoes on. I don't blame her.
Yeah, or lipstick or anything. Yeah.
Aiko is such a
She's
fun character. She's a really fun
and I love
character.
and I love that she's like everywhere at once right now. She's like omnipresent or whatever, and which I think works out great for her in a way because she likes to be in the know.
Oh
I
yeah,
loved when she came and was like, I think I just heard something I wasn't supposed to hear whenever Scarlet and Wolf were being all mushy. That was
yeah.
really cute.
And I think it's so funny how her temperature, like the temperature of the whole ship, rises when she gets flustered or
Yes.
embarrassed.
Yes. I'm
Yeah.
convinced he killed the
How do
oh
you think,
buddy.
like, Kim, do you think that
Oh buddy.
he tainted him with leishmaniasis somehow? Like,
He
purposefully
exposed
got
him.
him infected? I wonder what situation the emperor was in, that he got leishmaniasis, because nobody else in the family did.
Mhm.
And isn't it the case that if you are exposed to it, you get it no matter what? That's kind of the impression I got about it, unless you're Cinder.
I I
Yeah, don't know.
I picked up that it was highly contagious. I mean, I if you think about it, then Adri and, Pearl would have got it too, like, if it was that
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
contagious,
Well,
so
well,
'cause they
didn't.
were around Peony, just
True,
maybe
true.
not when she
You're right.
was displaying symptoms or whatever, but
Yeah. Okay, good point.
love
Yeah.
Aiko. We love
Mm-hmm.
her. Yes, she's
She
gossip
is a
queen.
gossip queen.
Oh, he probably helped
Yeah.
him along,
Mm-hmm.
helped him into
I
the light.
that Torin.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't. I will be interested to see what happens there, because I want to know who the snitch is, because you know someone is the snitch. And who is it?
Right, because yes, Kai was under the impression that Levana had his office bugged.
Yeah.
But maybe it's not bugged. Maybe it is just somebody with
Torn is the bug.
this very inside information. So, yeah.
And then I wonder why. Like, what about him? You know, what is he getting from it? You know, I'm curious. Oh, sorry. We're still on that subject, but I'm ready to move to another one.
Hold that thought. How long was the Emperor sick?
It didn't seem like it was very long.
Cinder trivia.
Oh, does it say?
I honestly don't know. It seems like it all happens pretty fast.
Yeah.
Within days or
weeks
a week even.
Yeah. It had to have been quick. Because that's, well, unless the Emperor wasn't actually dying of leishmaniasis.
I've read further along in Crest, so I'll reserve my opinion on it.
Okay.
Dun, dun, dun. Wasn't it the person on Luna that bugged Kai? So the chip in Nancy,
yes,
is what Sherry is talking about.
But that's just in Nancy. That wasn't necessarily because the things that Levana knows are things that are being said like all over the castle at any time. He's in different rooms, and she knows these things instantaneously. Remember, she comes in right when she hears something happen in the office, like when she finds out something happened that they've said in the office.
Yeah, and she has continued to find out things even after the chip got removed.
Right. So it's not just that. I mean, yeah.
Nobody's saying anything, which says everything.
Yeah, it does. Okay, got it, guys.
That's okay.
Okay, so I'm ready to move on now. Before I forget. That's the problem. I don't want to forget. What's the doctor? Dr. Erland. Is Dr. Erland Scarlet's grandfather? Why not? Tell me why not.
I can't.
Oh, you've already read.
Because Scarlet's grandfather died.
They said he died in some asylum. Yeah, that could be a cover for Dr. Erland. He needs a cover because he's a lunar, and her grandfather's a lunar. We figured that out already anyways, didn't we?
You just keep guessing, boss.
Dang it, I liked that. I
swear you all to silence.
I like Dr. Erland being her grandfather.
Oh, don't worry.
The grandmother had an affair with Dr. Erland, and I thought it was perfect.
Well, we could rewrite another version. I don't know.
Okay, good. My fan fiction version of
yes, people do that, right?
Which is about the relationship of Grandmère and Dr. Erland.
So basically, we need to just shuffle our little way through Crest because all
is revealed. I started it. I'm on page 22.
I haven't started it. I felt like I couldn't start it till we did this because, till we had this conversation because, like you and I talked about, it's hard not to get the books mixed up because the story does run together and it's hard to know where you cut off, in the story. So that's why I kind of waited. I waited to pick it up because I knew we still needed to talk about Scarlet.
Didn't want to be. Yeah.
What's his name?
I picked up Crest during our sprints because I had already finished Scarlet.
Yes. I remember.
But I didn't get very far.
Is this the grandpa? Is this the grandpa?
I'm guessing. I don't remember.
Where's the glossary?
Dr. Erland is what it is.
Where's the glossary of names? We may need it. Oh,
his name is Erland.
When it first finished, but it is coming back very quickly.
Okay. Well, it seems like that kind of series, not the same as, but similar to like a Hunger Games or something, where you remember everything, and it's a quick read, so you can just bring back all these exciting things as you go along. I mean, obviously it's not just like that, but it reminds me of those kind of series where it's just like fun and easy to get into.
I'm just looking to see if maybe I could find that name real quick.
Tanner.
Because
I wouldn't even.
I know Scarlet and Grandma had the conversation about what Scarlet knew when they were in the prison. So that's kind of where I flipped back to, because I thought maybe his name would be here. Tanner Erland.
Thank you, Deanne. That's going to be my version when I write my fan fiction.
Oh, and this is where it gets tricky, because the chapters do their back and forth.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I listened to it, but I wouldn't even know where in the book to look for it.
Okay. Do 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 do.
Okay, so we know now, though, that the grandmother is the human that was surgically worked on.
Yeah, she had the magic blocking thing in her neck.
Right. And then, of course, obviously, we know now that Cinder is the lunar that had it done to her, which I was guessing that was the case. And then I was like, yes, vindicated. I love those moments.
I do too. It's gonna drive me crazy.
If anybody knows about Tanner, help Danielle out.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'll look, and then I'll just post it in the Discord. Yeah. Oh, let's see what they say. Have you read all the books before, Danielle? I read the first 3, and I read part of Winter, but I don't remember anything about it. Tanner Erland. Also, part of the combo in prison was actually a lunar grandma.
The first one, yeah.
Grammar. Yeah, because Rand was pretending to be Grandma.
Okay, so here, the wolves that are on the planet. Remember when they were looking at the picture of the planet, and those wolves actually look more wolf-like?
Uh-huh.
You found it?
No, I just like that you're going to talk about this, because I want to talk about it. I want to talk about it too.
So when they were looking at the picture actually on Luna, the lunars, I mean, those are actually a lot more wolf-like, but the ones on Earth are not as wolf-like. So remember if they talked about it being like they're progressively getting more animal-like, more wolf-like than the first versions of these wolves? Is that what's happening? Did they talk about that? I can't remember now.
I took it as there's almost 2 different
Soldiers?
breeds. There's the one that's more like humanoid, like wolf, and then there's ones that are more wolf-like what we saw on the video footage of Luna, and even what Lavana was observing there toward the end. Like the little, they were young, like I don't even, were they like 13 or
babies.
something?
Yeah. There were some that were like 6, I think they said. It was pretty graphic, actually. I was a little surprised how graphic it was for a YA. It didn't bother me.
Little gore there.
I'm cold.
Wasn't Dr. Tanner the doctor that went crazy in the asylum? Yes.
Because he was a lunar.
Yeah. I was just trying to find his full name, and I couldn't.
Wasn't he a lunar?
Yeah.
Then how come Scarlet's not part lunar? Oh. Maybe she is.
Well, I don't know, but it sounds like just because you're a lunar, you don't necessarily have the gift, right?
True. Or any kind of gift whatsoever.
And she is, if her grandmother was completely earthen, those genes may or may not have been transferred to her. So yeah, I was trying to
True.
explain. I was trying to explain that in my head too. She could be a
I would
shell.
think she'd feel some, but yeah, but shells don't get affected by
the glamour, and she did.
glamour, right?
Yeah.
She did. Yeah, she totally got affected by the glamour. So I was confused by that because when she got affected by the glamour, I was like, wait, I thought she was part lunar. How did she get affected by it? I was very confused. And so now I'm like, okay, wait, what's going to happen? How are we going to figure this whole thing out? I don't know.
Grandma was not lunar. You are correct.
No. But
yeah, that's right.
But I think her grandfather was. So yeah, I'll be interested to see what that means. If it means anything. Maybe it doesn't mean anything.
So if Scarlet and Wolf have a baby,
there's
a chance that they'll be lunar, and they might howl when they cry. and have wild and crazy red hair.
So do the lunar parents give their children up, or are they being glamored to give their children up?
That's a good question.
What do you think?
I don't know the answer to that, but or is it like one of those things where it's like your patriotic duty, kind of thing? Who knows?
To give your child up to become a wolf?
Stranger things have happened. But yeah, I don't really know. I'm just speculating.
Yeah, Tanner's Scarlet's grandfather.
See.
So yes, she did.
1/4 lunar-ish.
No, because Tanner would be full lunar.
Oh, because we're
grandmare, right. 1/4.
We're skipping a generation here.
Yes,
that was a good point.
Sorry, I forgot about that.
That is
Thanks,
a good
Amy.
point. Just keeping us on track here. That cow probably just takes them.
What?
The cow, Lavana, the cow. I love it. I agree. She just takes those little babies.
She's awful. Yeah, I was thinking about it because people are afraid of her. I mean, the Lunars are afraid of her too. They're not everybody's happy with her, even on Lunar.
Some kind of honor.
Okay. We'll find out. We'll find everything out, like Amber said in, I think it was Amber, said in Cress, all shall be revealed. Yeah,
this is hard, isn't it, guys? Because we're at such an in-between place where we know just enough to be dangerous at this point. British words, hey, I knew what you meant, girl.
I was thinking of an actual cow.
Don't you even sweat it. I just heard keeping us on crack. Does she mean on track? Or did it sound like we were saying
crack?
Amy's keeping us on crack.
That's right.
Oh, I think Queen Lavana made it a law.
Probably. She would. She would enforce that sort of thing. Because she has no sympathy towards, she's no empathy whatsoever. She's not an empathetic person. She's awful. Awful.
It was kind of a bummer we didn't hear from Dr. Erland at all in this book.
It was.
I think we will.
Yeah, I think we will. I like Dr. Erland. But Kim was mentioning how she's not really looking forward to Fairest, because reading Fairest next, and it has Queen Lavana's story, and she's like, I don't want to feel bad for Queen Lavana in any way.
That cannot happen. Like, I'm not afraid to read it. Because here's the thing, we all have choices. We all have a past. See, we're just getting deep tonight, okay? We all have a past. We all have maybe been mistreated and abused, but we get to choose who we become. Yeah. And
it's true.
Lavana had a choice too, and she chose the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm. She sure did.
And Lavana just glamours people into doing whatever she wants.
She does.
Oh,
good.
This is good news, Amber.
Good.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Good. There you go, Kim. There you go, Kim.
I will not feel bad for Lavana. Speaking of Fairest, did you see my comment about the poll?
I was really upset about that because I was like, yes, Fairest won. You've got to. So how are you going to figure that one out?
Okay, I asked myself the same thing. I think I
Oh, so
think
just so you guys know, she put a poll on Twitter and a poll on Instagram.
for my poll pick for my TBR game, and the two choices were Small Spaces by Catherine Arden
Catherine
or
Arden.
Fairest by Marissa Meyer. And the poll on Instagram is swaying toward Fairest, and the poll on Twitter is swaying toward Small Spaces. And so I thought about that. I'm like, crap, what am I going to do? But I think I can, because it shows like percentages and stuff. So I think
Oh,
I
you
can
can add the
figure it
two
out
percentages
according to
together.
percentage. Yeah. But it's going to be close, man. I think it's
Well,
going to be
what's
close.
what's rough about that is you have to read Ferris no matter what.
I know. I know. What's rough about it, and Amy Bowman already knows this, is that I want to read Small Spaces no matter what, too. So it was just kind of one of
So
those
you're
things.
probably going to end up reading both of
Neither
them
one.
anyways.
Well, here's the thing. Neither one officially made it on the TBR, which affects my game.
Yes,
So
that's
yeah,
true. So as far as the game goes, then
it matters. It does matter.
it does
So
matter.
yeah,
Yeah,
I will not. I will also
she's
not
bound
feel
to.
bad for Lavana. I can't. I think we can't hear the doc until Cinder goes
Uh-huh.
to Africa. I agree.
Yeah, he's waiting for her. He's waiting for her.
You will hate her more after Fairest.
Oh, good, good. I mean, that's hard because she's pretty easy to hate right now.
She's going on our most hated villains
Yeah,
list.
yeah. She's going on her most hated villains.
Yes. Good news. Haha, Amy, you were right about the emojis.
On Kim's TBR game, she was mentioning about that. Like, I don't want to feel bad for, I don't, I'm not looking forward to reading Fairest. And so I'm like, this is how you're going to be feeling when you're reading it, Kim. And I put a whole bunch of mad emojis on her to the comment I put. Because, yeah, she would not. Yeah, it's rough, especially when you already have formed a hate towards your character. But like you said, I mean, I don't think that bothers me as much. Like I read, what's the first Hunger Games book, Songbirds and Snakes, or something like, not Songbirds and Snakes, of
Yeah, no,
Snakes
you're
and
you're
that
right.
one. That's about snow. It didn't make me sympathize for him. I saw that I saw who he was as a person beforehand, and I know what he becomes. And you're right; it's based off choices. We have things that come at us in our life, and we make choices based off that. And then who we become is really determined by those. Like we made those choices. We're that person now. We have to face the consequences of it. And
Yeah.
Lavana has made, no matter what happened to her in her youth,
The
she's made these
ballad.
choices.
The
The Ballad of
ballad.
Songbirds and Snakes. Yeah,
Yeah. Do we read Cress first or Fairest?
Chris.
Yeah. Cress is 3 and Fairest is 3.5, according to Goodreads.
Yeah, and I did look up some comments because I was curious.
Because wasn't
And
this Moody Reader saying that maybe the order was not? Hey, Fitz is making an
hey,
appearance.
Fitz. And no, so I was looking it up, and you can get some spoilers if you read Fairest first. Spoilers for Cress, so it's
Oh,
probably
okay.
just better. Like I think it might be able to stand alone, and maybe that's something that people don't necessarily agree on. But other people are saying that you can get some spoilers.
It isn't like the true story of the Three Little Pigs.
Oh, you ever read that
I don't
children's
think
book
I don't think I've read
where
that.
the wolf? It's a good one. It's
Oh
cute.
gosh, I love good.
Yeah, it's a cute one.
I love a
Let me
good
see if I can
story.
find it. It's a picture book,
Okay.
but it was funny. I remember really liking it when I was a kid. True story of. It looks like this. Wait for it.
So can I ask a question that could? Oh, that looks really familiar.
You probably read it. I mean, it's our age range.
We talked about what that was the other night. Did you
Yeah.
hear me? Did you hear me say to Steve? I'm like, when you say our age, do you mean mid to upper 30s? And he's like,
In
yeah, and early
40s.
40s.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was funny. I was like, oh, good.
So my question is, and you don't have to like go into a lot of detail, but like
Okay.
best case scenario, if you could pick how this story plays out, how would it play out?
You mean for the next book or for the whole thing?
Whatever you're feeling.
Well, for the next book, let's just go with my predictions for the next book, because that's as far as I can think right now. So we know I had guessed a while ago. Oh, but I don't want to give anything away for anybody who hasn't actually started the book.
It's too dangerous of a question.
Yeah, I read the first 22 pages, and it does confirm one of the things that I thought for.
What if we just ask for a happy ending? I'm fine with that.
Oh, that's I mean, yeah. I mean, it's going to be a happy ending, right? It's YA.
I like to put in my request.
It's a YA fantasy, isn't it? Or sci-fi. Doesn't it have to have a happy ending? Sci-fi YA. I mean, it's not a contemporary, so.
That's so sad.
It's really sad, but I'm looking forward to seeing this group come together and kick Levana's butt. That's what I'm looking forward to. And I'm looking forward to the Lunars hopefully regaining what?
I said happy ending.
Oh, mother. Don't egg her on, Danielle. This is not so appropriate.
Funny.
No, she's not. Oh she's not. It will de-escalate so quickly. But you know, I think I would like to see the Lunars get their planet back in a sense, or like have a good relationship with the Earthers, and everybody lives happily ever after.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder what Luna could be if they weren't all being brainwashed every day.
Well, and the thing is that Lunars were humans. I mean,
they had to originally come from Earth.
Yeah, they originally came from Earth. They originally came from humans. Earthens. Mm-hmm. They were originally Earthens. So, I mean, they've just got a little more extra power now. Don't encourage her, Danielle. She's got a 12-year-old's mind. Yeah. So I'm excited, though. I'm really, really excited for continuing on the series.
Me too. Oh, so...
what were you going to say?
I was going to say...
your prediction.
Oh, my prediction.
That doesn't give anything away.
See, it wasn't really fair because I asked that question and I didn't really have like an answer myself. But definitely ready for Cinder to reconnect with Dr. Erland. Definitely ready for her to figure out her powers, because I think I'm very excited about the potential there. And, you know, even just the little sample that we got when she could control one of the wolf guys that are not supposed to be able to be manipulated by anyone other than their thaumaturge guy. So yeah, I'm ready for Kai to know the truth about who Cinder is. And yeah, I mean, yes, I definitely think we're building like a power team right now. And when they all come together, it's going to be just bad to the bone. Yeah, I can't wait. So
I'm excited for it.
Those are my thoughts. That's what I'm looking forward to. I do wonder if we get Kai with the group by the end of
Crest. I can't help it. I love Kai. I do.
Oh, Prince Kai and your hair. We gotta play the shots game, man.
Oh yeah. Every time they talk about Kai's hair.
We gotta do it we'll do it on the sprints.
Yeah, we'll do it on my next reading sprints. Will they talk about Kai's hair as much in Crest? Anybody who's read Crest, will you let us know that they talk about Kai's hair as much?
What should be our drinking word? What should be our drinking word during Crest?
Yeah. I'm going to be taking the sips like this. We will
have read enough by then that maybe we'll know. I just got your YouTube name.
Oh, A-Star, yes, because my last name is Starzak, which you can tell because my mom's here.
Oh.
A-Star, yes. Stars have been a big thing in our family because of our last name. So
love stars.
Yes.
Love them. I mean, how
But
you
I
got
don't actually think I'm a star, so it's not
Coco
meant to be
Power
full of
Rangers.
myself.
Yeah, yes, the dream team right here. The Ranger dream team.
That's right.
Not so much on Kai's hair. So we have to pick a different. We have to pick a different word. Like
every time every
a
time
different drinking.
Thorn says something snarky, oh, we'll be drunk. We'll be drunk.
Yeah. Okay, that could be good. Yeah. Haha. He wasn't in it enough in Scarlet for drinking. So let's hope so for Chris. I think we're gonna go. We might go for the snark. Not so
Yeah.
much about Kai's hair. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
Amy is a
gosh.
star.
It's a mother
A
thing.
shooting star.
It's a mother thing, guys. Just ignore it.
I love stars. So
You know what? No, it's so embarrassing sometimes when we're around everybody and mom's like, well, do you watch Amy's channel? You watch Amy's channel, right? Well, do you watch Amy's
Oh
channel? And
my
I'm like,
gosh.
don't say that,
That is
mom.
the sweetest. You should be so thankful that she's so proud of you.
Yeah, but not everybody reads books. In fact, a lot of people don't read books, and I don't want them to feel obligated just because they like me to watch my
I
channel.
get that. We'll be drunk after 5 minutes if we do this snark. Yeah. Every time
No.
Scarlet does something impulsive.
Yeah, between Thorn's snark and Scarlet's impulse, we're gonna be flat on the ground.
Every time Cinder resents her princess dumb. Every time Cinder like disguises her hand as a hand, or I don't know. I'm reaching now, but
she pulls down her. Oh, it's because she was always trying to pull her sleeves or pull her gloves up. That's what she does all the time.
That's adorable. I finally got the courage to tell my parents I have a channel.
Oh, really? Oh, that's good. How'd they take it? I think it's amazing. I do think it's amazing, even
with your mom. I'm telling you,
mom's the star.
We love Amy, and we love Sherry,
Shazza.
and we love you two together. So
thank you. Well, there's more coming up, so good. If I ever get around to editing them.
Good. Yeah. So sweet. I have banned my mom from telling her friends about my channel.
I will tell you, Kim, you and your mom are our mom's and my mom's favorite mom and daughter. Well, aside from Danielle and Mia, but like watching.
Mia doesn't really.
She doesn't come on your show much,
and there's a reason for that, and it's because she is a minor, and
she's a minor.
I would have to ask her dad's permission, which.
But yeah, you don't want to have to get into all that. No, I totally understand.
But I mean, when she gets of age, maybe make some mama daughter video. Hear that, Mia?
Mia. Videos. But I will say, Kim, you and your mom are my mom's and my favorite. We just like to watch you guys and laugh.
That's so awesome. Giggle. I know. I really want to. I have been like a little behind and or slacking on getting everybody's content watched, and I definitely want to work on that this week. So yeah, if there's somebody that I should be watching, I had this idea, I've always got ideas, me and my ideas. So I had this idea that to mix it up, I would alternate, and like I would watch one video of a booktuber that I know and love, and then I would watch one video of a booktuber that is new to me, and then just kind of alternate that way,
That's smart.
I'll give it a try.
One day I did it where I watched like a whole bunch of one booktubers, and then I felt like, well, okay, I'm updated on them for a while. Yeah. But I haven't caught up with the others since. But I will say, if Danielle, if you want to go check out Kim's channel, look for the one where her and her mom are starting their Gilmore Girls book reads. That one is hilarious. Okay. So just the two of them trying to pick the books they're going to read for Gilmore Girl reading that challenge. It was so funny.
Yeah.
So, good one.
Okay. Yeah, that applies to me right now too, just for the fact that Mia and I were looking for a show to watch together, and I think we're going to do Gilmore Girls together. So,
yes, good choice.
Which I saw an episode like here and there when it was first airing, but I wasn't like a faithful, watcher. Yeah. So it'll be kind of a new thing for both of us. So
it'll be fun. You'll enjoy it. Yeah.
Amy's parents were like, People talk about books on YouTube.
That's
Oh, they
neat.
that's neat.
That's a good response.
My mom is funny. Yeah, I
Well,
know.
it's also the dynamics. Like it's fun to see the mother-daughter
I tell
dynamics, you know.
I tell people about my my YouTube that I know I can trust, like trust to be like supportive, like even if they don't necessarily watch it, but just
Mhm.
at least understand what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, you know? But yeah, I don't just tell the whole wide world. And I haven't
Me
had
neither.
to because I've made friends on here that
Yeah,
are
exactly.
filling that need, that book friend need. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Amy Bowman, I get that reaction from the friends I have told. Some people do not get YouTube at all.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. So I don't ever push it on anybody. I'm always, but if the people who read books and I'm like, well, if you want suggestions,
Yeah.
like I'll give them specific videos where they can get suggestions. Even of other booktubers, like I'll send them videos like, oh, watch this because I think you'll find books in this. I'm kind of nerdy like, but
Yeah.
it's usually people who I know will appreciate it,
It
not
ca- it
just
came up in
randomly.
conversation with a friend that a newer friend to me because she's actually a friend of it's the wife of my boyfriend's cousin. And so I've been spending quite a bit of time with them, but they're fairly new in my life. But the other day I had a book and I was reading over at their house because we were all just like chilling. The guys were like playing a game and she actually wasn't home from work yet. So I was just reading a book on the couch and she got home and was like, oh, what are you reading? And oh, I want to get back into reading. I used to be a reader and blah, blah, blah. So that was like a window. I was like, I'm going to tell her because,
Yeah.
you know, so yeah, I kind of gotta pick and choose. Some of my
Hmm.
students found my channel looking for my classroom channel, and they were like, "Do people besides us really care about what you have to say about kids?" Gotta love them.
That's funny, Amy, because I do think about that when I do finish my credentialing and I become a teacher. I'm like, oh no, am I gonna have to watch what I like? I'm not really crude on my channel, but like, do I really have to then watch what I say? It'll be interesting. I've gotta it'll change my perspective.
My in real life friends don't read much, so this community has been fantastic, and I
Yeah.
completely agree with that.
Hmm.
At least they
At
said
least
they
you said.
cared. I've watched YouTube for years, but only found BookTube this year, so I've enjoyed finding out about all these new channels.
Yeah, I found out about it 2019, the end of 2019, I think was
That's
right.
when I started my Bookstagram, and I think
Yeah.
I think I learned about BookTube from Bookstagram because I was on Bookstagram for almost a year before I started my YouTube channel. So
Yeah. Oh wait, no, I found out about it last year in 2020. I did my very first before I'd started a channel. Well, I had a travel channel, and I still have it, but I don't actively do anything on it anymore. But I started doing during COVID. I was doing the Koreadathon with Monica Kim, and that's kind of how I got
I remember
into.
you telling this story. Yeah.
Yeah.
A
Was that
secret
last year?
society. I kind of like that idea.
It
Secret
is.
society.
I
I like
love that,
that. I like
Deanne.
that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll stop telling people about it. keep, keep it secret.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, hilarious. Yeah. This was good.
This was really good. So we decided on
The 15th.
the next sprints. Yeah. So if anybody needs to jot it down, wonder if I actually let's see if Danielle. Oh, I'm dropping my phone. I did put it on here. So I have down 7 p.m. Central on the 15th, Friday the 15th,
Hmm. Hmm.
for
Yeah.
sprints.
Yeah, and that works for me because that's like after work if I have work that day. So.
Cool. I think I've been watching BookTube since 2016.
Oh, I'm glad you
Maybe was
decided to
prepared to
change
post
that.
anything for years. Yeah, for sure. Love it.
Yeah, it's a great community. It's a very
Love it.
supportive community. I mean, I haven't had too many bad experiences. I know that there are people who are going to say things and have opinions, but for the most part, I've been really lucky. Really
Yeah.
nice people.
So a few of you know this, but I'm planning a video for my 1 year BookTube anniversary. and I have to ask for, participation from some of my other booktube friends. I need them to contribute to this video. I was supposed to have 10 friends contribute. I asked 11 just to be like on the safe side, because I thought for sure somebody wouldn't be able to do it, or, time just wouldn't allow, or they just weren't interested or whatever. Every single one of them was like, heck yeah, that's so awesome. I would love to do that. And that, like, to me, it makes me get a little bit emotional, because that's this community. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I just
Yeah.
love it.
It's
I just really love it.
it's a very supportive place.
I just love it so much. I have
agree.
gotten back into reading during COVID because I could not look at a screen after teaching preschool special education all day over the computer. I found BookTube this year back in January.
It's a good find, isn't it, Jane?
I love how positive people are in this community. I agree.
Yeah.
There's
It's been
here.
It's been a great, and I've made really like genuine connections, not just passing, hey, how's it going? Which is fine too. Like, I do have some hey, how's it going, and that's great. But we have something in common, so we get a chance to really talk about subject matter that's really deep. You and I've buddy read, and we really got into talking about the books. Even in this video, we had that conversation about family dynamics, which is a tough, and these give you opportunities to have those kind of conversations with people who you may not necessarily know that well at first, but that helps you get to create those relationships. And
Mrs. Norris and Henry Crawford really brought us close together.
It did. He did. Yeah. Even though I was so frustrated so much. Actually, I was frustrated by Edmund.
Oh, yeah. Or Edward or Edwin or whatever.
Whatever we decided to call him.
That day. Yeah, that was awesome.
Edmund. Ah! But yes, and Mrs. Norris.
Sigh. Yeah.
How sweet. It's wonderful. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah. I feel all the warm fuzzies. Amy's getting delirious now. Oh gosh.
I know. I told you, I'm just like, today is not my day.
Hanging in there with us. She has been such a trooper, and we're so thankful.
This has been wonderful. You guys will made me feel really good.
Oh gosh, I know what I was going to ask earlier, and I got distracted. So on the sprints, I think it was on the sprints, we talked about, I know I'm thinking ahead, but like we talked about doing another read along after, like, next,
continuing
in the beginning part of next year.
Continuing this format with this group of, well, it doesn't have to be just this group of people, but continuing this format, but choosing another another series. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, with that, we received some suggestions that night for potential series that we could do. If you were not there and have an idea to contribute, maybe don't do it here in the chat, but like or you can still just comment on this video, I guess, after we close the chat, or you can communicate with us via Discord or whatever. But I mean, there's definitely ways to get a hold of us if you have an idea. So yeah, be thinking about that, and then
we'll do a vote later in the year
together. Yeah, and figure out
something,
kind of narrow it down,
and
get an official vote going. So yeah,
we weren't sure if we wanted to continue the whole retelling concept, or do we want to just do other kinds of series? It's something we got to think about. But
yeah, for sure,
something for you guys to think about if you're interested.
So I just wanted to mention that while everybody was still here, or most everybody anyway.
Yeah, because it seemed like, at least on the sprints, that people were interested in continuing on with this format. We've been enjoying doing it. So
Kim needs to go to bed. Thanks everyone. This was fun. I am way too awake for 1:40 a.m. though. Another read along sounds awesome.
Okay.
She's like past this. She's like past the exhaustion stage.
She's wired time. Wired, yeah, exactly.
Hey guys, this has been great.
That's the worst feeling when you're like, oh, it's gonna take me another hour to get to sleep.
Just pull out a book, Kim. You'll be good.
Textbook works all the time.
I'm so funny. I get in bed, like, I think I'm not tired, and then I'm literally holding the book and sleeping. And then I realized I was sleeping, and I'm like, oh, I should turn the light out now.
It's so not fair.
Am I?
Yeah.
How far behind on comments am I? Okay,
Oh,
here
not
we go.
too far.
I can't even spell now. That's
Yeah,
okay.
you're tired.
Spelling not required. Night, guys.
Night,
Night.
Kim.
Night. Okay.
Is there anything else?
Not that I can think of. I feel like we covered it.
Okay, well, everybody have fun reading Cress and Ferris. That's a lot to just for those 2 books in 1 month. I mean, that's not bad, but these go fast. We'll be fine.
We'll be fine. I'm looking at my stack. We'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm kind of struggling with all the long books right now. So, anyways,
tomorrow is a new day.
Tomorrow's a new day. So, thank you so much. Thank you so much for this. Thanks for hosting.
No problem. Hurrah. Hurrah and huzzah.
Yes.
Okay. Good night, everybody.
We'll see you guys later.
Thanks for being here.